All right, I will say good morning. Let us begin. We have an incredible Gemara ahead of us today. Today's daf is Lamed Aleph 31, and we are picking up on 30b. We are picking up Bitorah Maihi, which is on 30b, Lamina with base 2, 4, 6, 8 lines up from the bottom. Our shir this morning is dedicated by our Talmud Torah sponsors, Frank and Debbie Spector, for dedicating all of the Shur and Droshos this month in deep gratitude to the entire Kehillah. Paul and Kathy Pollack for dedicating the Shur and Droshos this month in memory of Paul's father, Shmuel ben Zechariah, his mother Sarah Bas Avram, and great-grandmother Cyril Bas Reb Dov. We hope that in the merit of our Talmud Torah, all of the Neshamos will have an Aliyah and the families a Nechama. And obviously with that, let us begin. So if you remember again, the Gemara was talking about the idea that they wanted to go ahead and hide away Sefer Mishlei, right? But again, because there were contradictions, but then the rabbi said the same way that we did such a great job going ahead and resolving the contradictions in Sefer Koheles, let's go ahead and analyze Mishlei a little bit and Amir Hashem resolve those contradictions as well. So we'll say one of the contradictions that came up was how you deal with a fool. So in one pasuk, Shlomo Melech says, don't get into it with the fool. And then another pasuk says, you should go ahead and answer up the fool. So the Gemara says, no, how do we reconcile that? So we'll say one was talking about Divrei Torah, and one was talking about, we'll call it mundane matters. So mundane matters we spoke about yesterday. What about when it comes to Torah? See, here we go. So the Gemara says, Torah Mahi, ki had Yosef Rabbi Gamliel v'kadarish aside isha shetele b'chol yom. Rabbi Gamliel was once giving a shir. We'll say very beautiful. He was giving a shir about the Messianic era. And he said in the Messianic era, a woman will give birth every day. Now we'll say, now what does this mean? Take a look at Rashi. Rashi says, Haravi Oledes Yachtov. So the Gemara says, so if you look at Rashi, Biyom Shahara Zeh Oledes Vad. So very simply, Rabbi Gamliel seems to be alluding to is the concept that either in the Messianic era, gestational periods will be shorter, and therefore women will be able to give birth more frequently, or a number of children at different gestational stages. So the Gemara says, Ligle Galov Osa Talmid. So one of the Talmidim who was in the shir kind of like made fun of this a little bit. He said, Rabbi, that doesn't make any sense. Ein kol chadash tachas hashemesh. The pasuk says there's nothing new in the world. In other words, we'll say, Kadosh Baruch Hu created the world, and therefore the world follows a system. And things that are dramatic departures from the norm don't normally occur. So the Rabbi Gamliel says, Amalei, Bo ve'ereich dugmasan ba'olam hazeh, nafak achvile ternagoles. So Rabbi Gamliel showed this Talmud a hen. So apparently, again, a hen could have multiple eggs, and it drops the eggs at different times. So they're all gestating in the mother. And again, they're all, the hen lays them at different times. You see from here the concept that ultimately, again, a mother could be pregnant with multiple offspring. Gamliel said another drasha. Also, we'll say all in the Messianic era. In Yemos HaMashiach, the trees will produce fruit every day. Shene'emar v'nasa anaf va'asa pri. It'll ma anaf b'chol yom, just as the shoots on the tree grow every day. Af pri b'chol yom. So too again in the Messianic era, the trees will sprout fruit every single day. Lig alav also Talmud. So the same Talmud gave Rabbi Gamliel a hard time. So Rabbi, that's ridiculous. Amar Zimar Sevaksiv in kol chadash tachas hashemesh. So what the Talmud was saying to Rabbi Gamliel is, come on, meaning there's nothing new in the world. So even when Mashiach comes, the systems of the world will remain the same. So what are you talking about? That the trees are going to produce fruit every single day? To which the Gemara says, Amalei, Bo ve'ereich dugmasan ba'olam hazeh. So Gamliel says, I'll show you that such a concept already exists in this world. Nafik achvile tzlaf. He showed him a caper bush. I'm also getting back to our brachas days, right? Tzlaf. So the caper bush has multiple parts that one could consume, and they each come to bloom at different times. So there's always another fruit, or there's always something edible that is blossoming on the caper bush. So we'll say another idea. Rabbi Gamliel says that when Mashiach comes, Eretz Yisrael is going to put forth gluskos. Gluskos means rolls. Rolls. That will say, forget about grain growing from the ground. Rolls are going to grow from the ground. I will say, can you imagine this? You go out, you pick your challah, you go out, you pick your rolls, And that's going to be what's going to happen in Moshe Mashiach. Uklei milas. Klei milas means fine woolen garments. That apparently, again, fine woolen garments will grow naturally as well. Shnei Amar Yehi Pisas Bar Aretz. Ba'aretz. Lig Alav also Talmud. So again, I will say this Talmud gave Rabbi Gamliel a hard time. He said, Rabbi, come on. Va'amar ein kol chadash tachas hashemesh. Shlomo HaMelech writes in Koheles, there's nothing new under the sun. So what are you talking about that these things are going to occur? So Amarle Bo ve'erich dugmasan ba'olam hazeh. This in this world. So nafik achlile kimhin upitrios. So Yishodna will say mushrooms and truffles. So mushrooms or truffles are examples of things that could grow, it appears like overnight. Overnight. They grow very quickly and in fully formed fashion. Not only that, but as Rashi points out, the shape of mushrooms and truffles is often like bread, like rolls. Vaklimila. So what about the woolen garments? Navra barkura. This is the bast of a young heart of palm. So I'll say we saw this before, that the young palm trees inside of the bark have like this woolly substance that when it's young is soft, just like fine woolen garments. Good. Well, let's say, just to understand, the Marshal points out over here that all of these drashas of Rabbi Gamliel are speaking about the idea that in the Messianic era, the earth itself will have an enhanced vitality. That's the idea, that the world itself will be more vibrant. The earth itself will be more vital. There'll be more bracha in the earth itself. So whether it literally means, I don't know if the Rabbi Gamliel literally meant that the world is going to produce rolls, right? Or that women are going to give birth every day, or how that their biology is going to change. The point is, that the Marshal points out, is when Adam and Chava sinned, remember that the ramification of that sin is HaKadosh Baruch Hu saying to them that you have to work very hard to get the earth to produce. And even sometimes when you work with the earth doesn't give you what you wanted. In the Messianic era, the world is returned to the earth, the physical earth, is returned to the state of what it was in the times of Adam and Chava before the sin. That's the chap. So therefore, again, just like the world before the sin was a world of incredible beauty, holiness, and vitality, so when Mashiach comes, the world is returned to that state. Incredible. Tana Rabban Abosai. Now we have mamish, a magnificent Gemara. Tana Rabbanim. Li'olam yehi adam anvasan kihilo v'lo yehi kapton kishamai. So we'll say again, the Gemara says a person should always be humble like Hillel and should not be a kapton. Kapton means someone who is very makbid, someone who is very exacting from other people. So we'll say that actually also ashkacha. We're learning this in Mesilas Yesharim now about anav, about humility. So a person should always be humble like Hillel and should not be so exacting from other people like Shammai. What happened? I will say, great story. Ma'aseh b'shnei Adam. There was a story of two people. Shehimru zeh. They made a bet. They made a wager. Amru komishi yelech v'yakni desilo yitol daled me'ozuz. Supposed to listen to this bet. It's like these are a bunch of characters over here. So they said whoever could get Hillel angry first, the other one will give them 400 zuz. So some people just have too much time on their hands. So we'll say, so again, whoever goes ahead and gets Hillel angry gets 400 zuz. Good. Amar echad mehem ani akni tenu. So one of the guys said, me, I'm like King Nudnik. I got this. I got this. I will get Hillel angry. And mamish 400 zuz is as good as mine. I both say, watch this. Osayom erev Shabbos. So this wager was made on erev Shabbos. Hillel chafafes rosho. Hillel was taking a bath, getting ready for Shabbos. Now chafafes rosho literally means he was washing his hair. So we'll say, watch this. Halach va'avra pesach beisa va'amra mikan Hillel. So the guy, we'll just call him Nudnik, right? So the Nudnik comes to Hillel's house, knocks on the door, is Hillel home? So what happened? Hillel's washing his hair, he's in the middle of taking a bath. So Nisateif, he puts on his robe, he walks outside. V'yatza l'kraso, he goes to greet the individual. Amrlo b'ni, ma'ata mevakesh. So Hillel says to the young man, my son, tell me, what could I do for you? Amrle she'eli yeshli lishol. So the man says, Rebbe, I have a question, right? I have a very important question. Amrle sha'al b'ni sha'al. Please, my son, ask the question. First wide line, Lamed Aleph, Lamed Aleph. Mipnei maroshin shel bavlim segalgulos. Why do the Babylonians have round heads? Then I will say, now you have to understand what's happening over here. It's Erev Shabbos. It's Erev Shabbos, right? Hillel's mamish in the middle of getting ready for Shabbos. The guy comes to his house, knocks on the door. Hillel's got to come outside, sits down. Important question. What's the earth-shattering question that has to be dealt with on Erev Shabbos, right? You know, this happens sometimes, like you have a moment of crisis, somebody calls, and there's something important. Is it really? Like now? We have to do this now. We have to talk about this now. Or you could talk about it Motzei Shabbos, Sunday, Monday, even 3 weeks from now, and it still wouldn't be so important. So this guy is coming over to Hillel and he's saying, "No, why do the Babylonians have round heads?" Amrlei, Bini, She'ila Gedola Shalta. So Hillel says, "Wow, my son, excellent question, big question. Mibnei She'enlem Chayos Pikchos." Very simple, because in Bavel they don't have skilled midwives. So because they don't have skilled midwives, so when they deliver the children, they're not careful with the heads. So because they're not careful with the heads, the skull gets a bit misshapen. Okay, good. Everybody goes on. So what happened? Himtin Shah. So the man left. The nunnik left. He waited a little bit, and he came. Shah doesn't mean an hour. He just means he waited a little bit. Himtin Shah. And he waited a little bit. V'chazer v'amar mikan Hillel, mikan Hillel. Is Hillel home? Is Hillel home? So Hillel comes out and Nesate v'yatza likraso. Amar lo b'ni ma'ata mevakesh. My son. Hillel says, "What can I do for you?" Amar le she'eli yeshli lishal. Rebbe, very important question. Very important question. Okay. No, Amar le sha'al b'ni sha'al. Both say, listen. So Hillel says, "Please, my son, what question do you have?" So mipnei ma emein shel Talmudin trutos. Why do the Talmudin literally have slanted eyes? Why do they have slanted eyes? Or means like more circular eyes. Why do they have slanted eyes? What a question. What a question. It's because they live amongst the sand dunes and they squint a lot. So because they squint a lot, over time, the shape of their eyes has adapted to their surroundings. Chazar va'amar mikan Hillel, mikan Hillel. The guy comes back and says, "Hillel here is Hillel here." So poor Hillel, the man's just trying to wash his hair. Right? And he comes out, he wraps himself, he comes out of the house. My son, what can I do for you? So the man says to Hillel, "Rabbi, I have a question." Please ask. Why do the people in Africa have wide feet? Incredible. What a question. Because they live in swamplands, in marshy areas, and therefore they have wider feet. So Rashi points out, maybe it's because, again, whether it's the swamps or they walk barefoot, the idea that Hillel is giving is people in different places look different ways because our physiology adapts very often to our physical surroundings. So I will say, now watch this. So now the guy says, Amrlo. So remember, there's 400 zuz riding on this ability to get Hillel angry. The guy has now come back 3 times, and Hillel has not lost his cool. So the guy now pivots a little bit. Amrlo, she'elos harbe yeshi lishol, umisyare ani shematichos. So the guy says to the Rebbe, I have many questions, but I don't want to get you angry. Am I getting you angry? Am I making you angry a little bit? Does any of this bother you? So you can see also what's happening over here is like he's baiting Hillel a little bit on all of this. So watch this. Nis'atef v'yashev lefanav. So Hillel wrapped himself. He sat down. He made himself comfortable. Amrlei kol she'elos she'ish lecha lishol sha'al. So Hillel says to the man, "Bring it on." Right? Whatever questions you have, please feel free to ask. Amrlei. Atahu Hillel, Shekorin Oscha Nasi Yisrael. So the man says to Hillel, "You Hillel, who everyone calls the Prince of Israel." Now Rashi points out to here also that ultimately this was also part of the Marshal also points out that this was part of the baiting. Oh, are you Hillel? So meaning this guy's come back to Hillel now 4 times, right? Are you Hillel, the Nasi of Eretz Yisrael? So the Gemara says, Amar Lehin, Hillel says yes. Amrlei imatahu lo yirbu kamos Rabbi Yisrael. So the man says to Hillel, "If you're Hillel, I hope there are no more like you in the ranks of the Jewish people. Amar le b'ni mipnei ma. My son, why do you say such a thing like this? Amar le mipnei she'ibadati al yadcha dala. The individual tells Hillel about the wager and about what had occurred. So the Gemara says, Amar le havizaher baruchacha. K'day hu Hillel shetova al yado dalad me'ozuz v'dalad me'ozuz v'Hillel lo yakbid. So Hillel said, this is why a person always has to be very careful with their temperament. And again, Hillel says to the man, it should be better that you should lose 400 zuz after 400 zuz. You should keep losing money. But Hillel will never lose his temper. And I will say, you see incredible lessons from this story. First of all, the way that Hillel dealt with a person who clearly was a nudnik, right? Again, just an incredible level of patience and an incredible level of empathy, right? Excellent question, Hillel would say. So we'll say you learn, first of all, again, about giving people attention, which is really, really incredible. Hillel's ability to give this individual's attention, even though it was terribly inconvenient. It's Erev Shabbos. Hillel's individual to make the person, quote unquote, feel good about themselves by telling them to question was an excellent question. And most of all, not losing patience. Not losing patience. This idea ultimately, again, of maintaining a proper patient disposition, even under annoying or difficult circumstances. Pretty incredible. Tanu Rabbanan. We'll say along that same theme, the Gemara tells a beautiful story here. Tanu Rabbanan, Maisa b'nochri echad, sheba lifnei Shammai. There was a story of a Gentile. A non-Jew once came before Shammai. Amar lo, kama Toros yesh lachem. He says to Shammai, tell me, how many Torahs do you have? Amar lo shtayim. Shammai says, we have two. Torah shebechsav, Torah sheba'peh. There's a written law and a spoken law, right? An oral law. So ultimately, again, Torah shebechsav, Torah sheba'peh. Amar le, so the Gentile says, shebechsav ani ma'mincha, v'sheba'peh ani ma'mincha. So the guy says, I want to convert, but here's the deal. I believe in the written law. I do not believe in Torah sheba'peh. I don't believe in the oral tradition. So the Gemara says, Geirani amrash taldini Torah shebechsav. Here's the deal, Shammai. I want you to convert me on the condition that I will keep Torah shebechsav, but I'm not going to keep Torah sheba'peh. Ga'arbo. So Shammai yelled at the guy, V'otzia ben azifon. And he said, get out of here. Get out of here. So Shammai dismissed the individual, feeling that he was not a genuine candidate for conversion. Look at Rashi. Hotzia ben azifon. Tisanya habala kabel divrei chavrus chutz midavar echad v'chein ger habala iskayr v'kiba alav divrei Torah chutz midavar echad in mekabel also. I will say it happens to be a mefurush Gemara that halacha l'mais, if somebody wants to convert and they explicitly say I'm going to convert, but I'm not accepting some halacha. Say a person I want to convert, but I'm not keeping kosher, right? I'm not keeping shatnez. I don't believe in whatever it might be. You can't convert a person like that. That's a flawed conversion. So therefore, again, Shammai sees this guy who says, I'll convert, but I'm only going to accept Torah shebechsav. I'm not accepting Torah sheba'peh. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Such an individual, again, is not a candidate for conversion. So Shammai chases him away. Ba'lifnei Hillel. So the man came before Hillel, Gaire, and Hillel converted him. Now I will say, this is actually very interesting. Look at Rashi. Gaire. V'samach al chachmaso shesov shi'ar gilenu lekabel alav delo dam yahu lechutz midavar acher shelo haya kofer b'torah sheba'peh el shelo haya mamin shehi mipia gvura v'hila huftach she'acher shlem denu yismach alav. So we'll say, here's what's interesting. It sounds like over here the guy comes to Hillel with the same request: convert me on the condition that I'll keep Torah shebechsav and not Torah sheba'peh. So how does Hillel convert such a person like this? So we'll say, here's the difference. Shammai, as we're going to see, just looked at what a person was saying. So the guy says, I'm only going to keep Torah shebechsav, not Torah sheba'peh. So Shammai says, get out of here. Get out of here. That's ridiculous. There's no such type of conversion. Hillel understood that the guy wasn't really saying, I don't believe in Torah sheba'peh. That wasn't what he was saying. Hillel understood that there was a lack of understanding. And if he were to just learn with the guy would come around. So Hillel accepted the request, seemingly converted the individual with the understanding that I'm going to learn with him, and ultimately, again, he's going to come around. I will say, this Gemara happens to pose some fascinating issues and questions when it comes to the halachos of gerus, because we do not do gerus like this, right? We would never do a gerus like this of converting someone with the assumption that they're going to come around at some later point in time. But again, Hillel conducted the conversion because he was confident that this individual is not ideologically opposed to Torah Shebaal Peh. He was just misinformed. So the Gemara goes weiter. So what happened? So the Gemara tells the story. Yoma Kama Amarle Aleph Beis Gimel Dalin. So we'll say on day number 1, when Hillel was teaching the Ger, he taught him Aleph Beis Gimel Dalin. Lemachar Apichle. The next day he taught him Dalid Gimel Beis Aleph. Samarle Vaha Esmo Lo Amarti Lihachi. But 1 second. So the Ger said, but 1 second, yesterday you told me Aleph Beis Gimel Dalid. Today you're telling me Dalid Gimel Beis Aleph. So what's going on? Lav alai didi kasamches. So Hillel says to the Ger, right, you're relying on me. You're relying on me, ultimately, again, to teach you the proper order of the Aleph Beis, right? Therefore, da'apet nami samuchalai. Just like you trust me to teach you the proper order of the Aleph Beis, trust me to tell you that Torah Shebaal Peh, that the oral tradition is just as important as Torah Shebichsav. And I will say, and indeed, the Ger said, okay, I understand. Just like I'm relying on you for Aleph Beis, so too I rely on you to teach me ultimately again what are the necessary parts of Torah. Quite beautiful. That's story number 1. Story number 2. Story number 2. Shuv Ma'aseh Menachri Echad Shav Lefnei Shammai. Another story of a Nachri who came before Shammai. And what happened? Amrlei. So the guy comes with a crazy request. Says to Shammai, teach me I want to convert, but teach me the entire Torah while I'm standing on 1 foot. So Shammai apparently was holding a yardstick, and he chased the guy away with the yardstick. Again, what kind of craziness is this? You want to learn the entire Torah while standing on 1 foot? That's ridiculous. Get out of here. So Balif Nehilel, Gary. So I will say similar story. So the man comes before Hillel, and Hillel converted him. So what's Kol Torah Kula on 1 foot? Amrlei da'alach sani lechavercha lo savid. What to you is despised, what to you is despicable, what's hated unto you, do not do unto your friend. It's a very simple idea. Whatever you don't want done to you, don't do to the other. Zoe Kala Torah Kula. Hillel says, really, this is the entire Torah. Idach Perusha. The rest is simple commentary. Zil Gemar. Go and learn it. And I will say, this is actually very strange. I mean, on one hand, it's very beautiful. Hillel seems to be saying, V'ahavta l're'acha kamocha. Right? Love your fellow like you love yourself. Or in this case, do not do to your fellow which you would not want done unto yourself. This is the entire Torah. Really? Is that the entire Torah? So, Rashi actually points out here something very important. Rashi says, "Da'alecha san lechavercha lo savid, re'acha v're'a avicha tazov zeh HaKadosh Baruch Hu, al tavor al dvara shari alav sanui, shahari alecha sanui, shiaver chavercha al dvarecha, lishnachnina lashanacher chavercha mamish." So we'll say Rashi brings down who is the chaver in this case. So the chaver, Rashi points out, could be HaKadosh Baruch Hu. What you don't want done onto yourself, don't do to your friend. Just like you don't like it when people do things against your will, so too don't do things against your friends. Who's your friend? Your best friend in the world is HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So just like you don't like it when people do things that you don't want done, don't do things that HaKadosh Baruch Hu doesn't want done. Possibility number 2 is that no, maybe it literally means my fellow. So we'll say, but the truth is, the best way to approach this is it means both. This is what Hillel was saying to the individual. Just like you don't like it when people go against your will, don't go against the will of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And just like you don't like it when people hurt you, so don't chas v'shalom go ahead and hurt your fellow. So it's really a double lesson of Bein Adam L'Makom and Bein Adam L'Chabeiro. Shuv Ma'aseh V'Nachri. I had one more story. Another Gentile who wanted to convert. Sheya over Achari Beis HaMedrash. He was walking by the Beis HaMedrash. Shama Kol Sofer. Sheya Omer. Ve'ila Begodim Sheyasu Choshen Ve'efod. Amar Halalu L'Mit. We'll say, listen to this story. So the Gentile is walking past the shul. And as he's walking past the shul, he hears them reading the Torah regarding the big day kahuna. And here's talking about the choshen, the breastplate, and the ephod, the apron. And he says, no, who gets to wear these garments? Amrulo Kohen Gadol. The high priest wears them. Amar Osa Nachri Ba'atzmo Elech Vizgar B'Shvil Sheyisimuni Kohen Gadol. So the guy comes and he says, you know what, I'm going to convert, but I want to be the Kohen Gadol. Right? What is it? Go big or go home. Right? I'm going to go ahead. I want to be the Kohen Gadol. Okay, so what happens? Balifnei Shammai Amrale Gairani Amnasha Tisimini Kohen Gadol. So they come before Shammai. Says Shammai, convert me. I can be the Kohen Gadol. So Shammai apparently was still holding on to his yardstick, and he chased the guy away with the yardstick. Get out of here, right? Ridiculous. This is not how you approach conversion. This is not how you come to these things. So Balifnei Hillel, he came before Hillel. Gairei, Hillel converted him. Amrale, so Hillel said, okay, you want to be the Kohen Gadol. You can't become king unless you know the ways of the monarchy. So why don't you go ahead and learn the Pesukim, learn the Chumash, and learn about all the Kohen Gadol. When he got to the pasuk that says that a zar, right, is literally a stranger who comes to the Kodesh HaKadoshim, or not even into the Kodesh, right, will die. So the Ger said, tell me, Hillel, who is this pasuk referring to? Who is this zar? Afilu al David melech Yisrael. The zar is even King David. That if King David were to come to the Holy of Holies, he would die. Nasa also ger kalvachomer biatzmo. So the ger made a kalvachomer. Umay Yisrael shenikru b'nei l'makom. We talk ava she'avam kara lahem b'nei b'chori Yisrael. So Jews, right, those who are born Jews, right, are called children to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the firstborn. And yet ksiv aleim v'hazara karev yumas. And yet Rabbi say even someone who's born Jewish, the pasuk says, the zar, if you're not a Kohen, and you come to the Kodesh HaKadoshim, you will die. Ger hakal sheba b'maklo b'tamilo alachas kama v'kama. Then the also a ger, a convert, who comes later on in life, of course can't go ahead and approach the Kodesh HaKadoshim. So we'll say, so what happened? So therefore the ger realized, see, we'll say, the common denominator in all of these stories is that Shammai looked at the outlandish requests as a lack of fundamental commitment to Yiddishkeit. Hillel understood that these guys were just misinformed. They meant well. They just didn't understand. So teach them, give them an opportunity to learn a little bit, and their genuinity. I know it's not a word, but their genuinity, right? Their genuinkeit will come out. And sure enough, Hillel was right. So I say, watch this. So the Gemara says, but lifnei Shammai. So this last guy, right, the one who wanted to be the Kohen Gadol, comes back to Shammai. Amar le klom ra'i ani lios Kohen Gadol, v'alo ksiba Torah v'azara karev yumas. So we'll say, so the guy comes out to Shammai, says, Shammai, why didn't you just tell me that I can't be a Kohen Gadol? Or when I came to you and asked you to be the Kohen Gadol, all you needed to quote to me is the pasuk, right? And if you would have quoted the pasuk, then at the end of the day, I would have known that halacha l'maisa I can't be a kohen. So why didn't you just tell me that? So balifnei Hillel amar lei anvasan Hillel yanuchu l'cha brachos al roshecha shehikraftani tachas kanfei ashchina. So again, then he goes back to us, says, Hillel, your humility and your gentle approach allowed me to come close to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Because of you, ultimately, again, I was able to convert. So we'll say, watch this. Liyamim nizdavgu shloshtan lamakom echad. So we'll say, so maybe, I don't know, maybe there was like a ger conference or something, a convention. So so these three guys get together. Somehow they were all together. And they were comparing conversion stories. Amru. So they said, the exacting nature, the kapdonos, right, the strict exacting nature of Shammai almost sought to remove us from this world, which they were saying is, Shammai's approach would have prevented us from seeing the beauty of Yiddishkeit. And v'sanuso shel Hillel, keravnu tachas kanfei ashchina. The humility of Hillel allowed us to come under the wings of the Shekhinah. So I'll say really quite an amazing Gemara. So they understood that again, so Shammai's exacting nature would have caused these individuals to miss out on a lifetime of beautiful Yiddishkeit treasure. But yet the humility of Hillel, and humility in this context really means a softer nature of Hillel, allowed these people to find their way. And I'll say an interesting postscript to this story. In Pirkei Avos, it is in the first chapter. It's Hillel as a record. Shammai says, "Hevi mekabel kol adam b'sever panim yafos." Isn't that interesting? Right? Shammai says, "Receive every person with a smiling countenance." So Rabbi Lau, in his commentary on Pirkei Avos, writes so beautifully that statement of Shammai was recorded after this episode. That when Shammai realized that he was wrong, his approach to these individuals was flawed. It wasn't that they were nudniks, right? It wasn't that they were annoying. It wasn't that they lacked commitment. They were just a little bit misinformed. And had he been a little bit nicer to them, right? Had he dealt with them in a little bit of a sweeter fashion, then ultimately, again, he could have been the one who was privileged to bring them under the wings of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So really quite an amazing, I will say, also teaching us, just all of us encounter difficult people. And a lot of times, again, we take sometimes like a sharper or shorter approach to difficult people to be a bit more like Hillel and a little less like Shammai in this regard. So the goes right. Amrish Lakish, Maidich Sevaya Emunas Isacha, Chosin Yeshua's Chachma Vadas, Emunas Ze Sedizram. So both say again, the Gemara quotes the pasuk from Yeshaya and dissects the pasuk. What is Emunas? That refers to Seder Zeraim. Mishnah, Itacha Ze Seder Moed, Chosen Ze Seder Nashim, Yeshuos Ze Seder Nezikin. Chachmas zeh seder kachim, v'das zeh seder hedyot. So we'll say, so the pasuk makes reference ultimately again to the Shisha Sidrei Mishnah. V'afilu achi, and even if a person has learned all of this Torah, what does the pasuk say? We'll say, how does the pasuk end? Yiras Hashem hi otzaro. It is only Yiras Hashem that ultimately again is the ikr. We'll say what the Gemara is now introducing is the concept that a person could learn an incredible amount of Torah. But if a person doesn't have Yiras Hashem, I will say Yiras Hashem means two things. It means a fear of God. There's an element of fear, because fear is exceptionally important, that you could learn a voluminous amount of Torah. But if at the end of the day a person doesn't have Yiras Hashem, then at the end of the day, ultimately again, a person is missing something fundamental. Omarava, Bishash Shemachnisin Adon, the Rebbe say an incredible Gemara. At a time when they bring a person in for judgment, Omrim, they say to him, Nasasa v'nasata be'emunah. Did you conduct your business dealings honestly? We'll say the first question you get asked after 120 is not did you learn Daf Yomi, right? Is not did you put on tefillin? Were you an honest businessman? That's the first question. Were you an honest businessman? Next, Kavata itin laTorah. Did you set aside time to learn? Did you set aside time to learn? Both say, look at Rashi. Kavate itim lefisha adam tzarchlis. Right, a person has to have a job. Right, it's klal gadol life. You have to have a job. Shim ein derech haretz ein Torah. Hutzrach likboa itim laTorah. Davar katzuv shlo yimashech kol yom derech haretz. So we'll say, this is incredibly important. This is why the importance in life is not just only learning, but it's learning at a set time. That's it, both say again, the notion of being part of a shir, it's not just the pshat that you learn. You can learn any time. There's a concept of having a set time to learn. Because when you have a set time to learn, then ultimately that becomes part of your day. The moment that learning is not at a set time is the moment that you run a very high probability of not getting it done. And even if you get it done, it's not the same. It's not the same. We'll say, a person could go ahead and learn the daf, or a person could listen to the recording on their commute. Okay, listening to the commute is very nice. So it's another podcast. It's another book, audio book, right? Or another book on wheels. That's fine. Is that Talmud Torah? I don't know. It's listening to Torah that's not Talmud Torah. That's not called learning, right? Learning is sitting in front of a sefer and ultimately going ahead and learning your Torah. That's your learning. Listening to something on your commute, while you're hopefully paying attention to your drive as well, is nice. Don't get me wrong. It's very nice and it's better than nothing. But that's exactly what it is. Better than nothing. Better than nothing. Supposed to say, and that's what it means. Kavata itim laTorah means were you kavua? Were you kavua, right? Did you make something a fixed practice? Because if you make it a fixed practice, then it's part of who you are. It's part of what you do. It's part of your day. And again, I don't mean some of us learn on our commute. I don't mean like if you're commuting and taking public transportation and listening and looking at a sefer, that's fantastic. I'm talking about if somebody kind of just listens to it while they're driving or doing something else. Again, It's certainly better than nothing. But you know that, is that the learning experience? Not as much. So kavati til Torah. Have you set aside time to learn? Asakte b'peri v'rivya. Did you try to have a family? Tzipisa li Yeshua. Did you wait for Mashiach? Did you wait for Mashiach? Pilpalta b'chachma. Did you go ahead and literally speak in matters of wisdom? We'll see what that means. Hevanto davar mitoch davar. Did you try to understand one thing from the other? So what this means is, did you broaden your horizons? Pilpalta b'chachma means, do you have the kind of friends who, when you talk with them, you don't just simply talk about mundane things, but rather you go ahead and you talk about matters of wisdom, right? Do you have the kind of friends who you could talk about matters of learning, matters of growth? Hevanto davar mitoch davar. Do you try to broaden your intellectual horizons and try to understand things from things that you've already learned? But we'll say at the end of the day, all of these things only matter if what? If you have Yiras Hashem as part of your life as well. Mashali Adam Sha'amar Lishlucho. This can be compared to a person who says to his agent, Ha'ala li kar chitin la'aliyah. Bring me up a core of chitin to the attic. Core is a measurement. Halach ve'helalo. Amar le'irafta lahen bav chumtan. So he says to the servant, did you mix into the wheat a kav of chumtin? So we'll say Rashi points out chumtan over here was earth that had a very high salt content. People would often mix that into their wheat as like a preservative for the wheat. If you didn't mix it in with your wheat, then what? Then Allah Lamaisa, the wheat has the ability to go bad. Amar le'lav, and the servant said, no, I didn't mix in the chumtan. Amar le'i, mutav im lo ha'alisa. If you didn't mix in the chumtan, it would have been better had you never brought the wheat inside. In other words, they're both saying, to bring wheat into storage is only meaningful if you go ahead and you mix in a preservative. If you don't have a preservative, then the wheat goes bad. So I'll say, so what's the yesod? A person can have Torah, a person can have tefillah, a person can have all of these things, all of the questions I could share. I was honest in business. I tried to have a family. I waited for Mashiach. I set aside time to learn. That's all great. But what's the preservative that allows everything to be sustained? That's Yiras Hashem. That's Yiras Hashem. It is only if a person walks through life with an awareness of God, a reverence of God, a fear of God, an appreciation of God, a recognition that HaKadosh Baruch Hu shivisi Hashem lenegdi samid, an awareness of HaKadosh Baruch Hu in every moment of my life. That's the preservative. That's what makes everything else meaningful. Tana de Rabbi Shmuel, Ma'arif Adam Kav Chumtin Bekor Shal Tuava Enechosh. So we'll say once you mention this Chumtin, this is very important. If you were to go ahead and buy a core of wheat, so there's a recognition that part of what makes up that core is one kav of the chumtan, right? So it's good to know whenever you buy a core of wheat, so you're not getting a full core of wheat, you're getting a core of wheat minus the kav of chumtan. Amra baravuna kol adam sheish bo Torah ve'ein bo amud beis ve'ein bo yiras shamayim. So we'll say any person who has Torah but doesn't have yiras shamayim. Both say is a great mashal. So any person who has Torah but doesn't have Yiras Shamayim, Rabbi say again, this notion of Yiras Shamayim again really means God awareness. This is Shivisi Hashem lenegdi samid, a God awareness in life to feel the presence of HaKadosh Baruch Hu wherever you go and whatever you do. What is that comparable if you have Torah but you don't have Yiras Shamayim? Like a gizbar, like an attendant who has the keys to the inner courtyard, but he doesn't have the keys to the outer courtyard. So I'll say, so that's great. If you have the keys to the inner courtyard, that's fantastic. There's only one problem. If you can't get through the outer gate, so Yiras Hashem are the keys to the outer gate. Those are the outer gate. Once you have the keys to the outer gate, fantastic. Then you can move inside, Torah, Tefillah, all the other stuff. But if you don't have Yiras Shamayim, then you're stuck at the outer gate. So the Gemara says, B'hai ayel, how are you going? Machrez Rabbi Yanai, Chaval adeles le darta. Adeles darta, v'tir le darta avid. Woe to the person who doesn't have a courtyard, yet he makes a gate for the courtyard. So we'll say the courtyard in this mashal is Yiras Hashem. Without Yiras Hashem, you can't build anything. But so many times in life we build the gates. The gates is Torah, Tefillah. The gates are Torah, Tefillah. I have all wonderful gates. There's only one problem, is I don't have the courtyard of Yiras Shamayim. Amar Yehuda, Lo bara Kadosh Baruch Hu salama ela kedei shirim milafanav. Kadosh Baruch Hu only created this world so that people could have an appreciation of. So remember again, Yira, we translated as fear. But remember again, although the shorish can be Yud Reish Aleph, the shorish can also be Reish Aleph Hey, to see. a God awareness, a God awareness. Kadosh Baruch Hu created the world for us to have an awareness and appreciation of Him. Shnei Emar ve'Elokim asa shir milafanav. Rabbi Simon, Rabbi Lazar, Rabbi Yossi. Rabbi Simon and Lazar were sitting. Chalif va'azar Rabbi Yaakov bar Acha. So whilst Rabbi Simon and Lazar are sitting, Rabbi Yaakov bar Acha walked by them. Amar leichad lechavrei niku mikamei degavar dachil chatanhu. So one said to his friend, you know what, we should stand up in front of Rabbi Yaakov bar Abba, because he is a man who goes out and fears sin. And because he fears sin, we should go ahead and honor him. Amar leidach neku mikamei degavar bar Orionu. No, we should stand up for him because he's a Talmid Chacham. So we'll say, interestingly enough, they were both agreeing that we should stand up. For Rav Yaakov bar Acha, they were arguing about what's the quality he possesses that makes us stand up. Is it that he fears sin, he has yiras shamayim, or is it that ultimately, again, he's a Talmid Chacham? Amar lei amina lacha ana degavar dechal chatanhu va'amrit li at bar Orionhu. I told you that we should stand up because he's a Yorei Shamayim, and which is greater, and then you're saying we should stand up because he's a Talmid Chacham. The fact that he's a Yorei Shamayim, that he fears and has God appreciation and God awareness, is even greater than being a Talmid Chacham. It is Rabbi Lazar who dachal chatanu. It is Rabbi Lazar who holds that the greatest attribute that Rabbi Yaakov bar Acha possessed was that he was a man who had yiras shamayim. Then Rabbi Shmuel Silber, ein lo la'kadosh baruch hu ba'olamo ela yiras shamayim bilvad. The thing that HaKadosh Baruch Hu values most in this entire world is yiras shamayim. So we'll say again, and I can't say enough, this notion of yiras shamayim means, yes, a fear. We'll say fear is important because fear in any relationship keeps you on the straight and narrow. The same way, again, on a very basic level, a person has a fear that if he mistreats his spouse is going to leave, and that fear is very important because without that fear, a person would take liberties in their marriage that they should not take. So a fear in relationship with HaKadosh Baruch Hu is incredibly important as well. But it's not only fear. It's a reverence. It's a love. It's a sense of respect. It's an awareness that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is with me every step of my life journey. So below this yira. Oh, what does HaKadosh Baruch Hu ask of you? Only one thing. Liyira. To have yiras shamayim. Uksiv. Vayomer le'adam hein yiras Hashem hi chachma. Shekim belashon yavani korin la'achas hein tistem. So we'll say, so indeed, it is Rabbi Lazar who holds that ultimately the greatest person who loves HaKadosh Baruch Hu, fears HaKadosh Baruch Hu, appreciates HaKadosh Baruch Hu, feels a sense of awe of God, but most importantly, feels the presence of God. God is what the Balatanya says. God awareness. Shevisi Hashem lenegdi summit. I am acutely aware of the presence of HaKadosh Baruch Hu in my life. Darash Rab Ula, my dichsiv al tir shahar, was the great Gemara. Pasuk says the Koheles, al tir shaharbe, which Shabbos literally means, don't become very wicked. To which the Gemara says, what does that mean? Harbe hu lo lir shah. Just don't be very wicked, just be a little wicked. Says the Gemara, what does that mean? Ella, misha achal shum v'reicha nodev. Yachser v'yochal shum achar v'yirecha nodev. Shabbos, what it teaches me is as follows, that just because a person ate garlic and he has bad breath, so does a person say, well, once my breath is bad already, I might as well just eat more garlic. No, obviously not. So I'll say, even if I eat a little bit of garlic and my breath is bad, I don't just go ahead and go crazy on garlic. So Sotra was an incredible yisod. Sometimes in life we mess up. And we assume that once we've messed up, we're down and out. So once I've messed up, what's the big deal? I could just sin more. I could just engage in more behavior. To which the Gemara says, Al tir shaharbe, don't become exceedingly wicked. Just because you've made mistakes in life does not mean that you're down and out. Does not mean that you're beyond repair, beyond salvation. Just like if you ate garlic, don't eat more garlic because your breath becomes worse. So too, even if you've sinned and made mistakes in life, just because I've made mistakes doesn't mean that I'm irredeemable or unsalvageable. Don't fall into that trap of thinking, once a sinner, always a sinner. Al Tirsha, we all make mistakes, but don't compound your mistakes by making more of them. Darash Rava bar Ula Ma'idich Siv ki ein chartzubos. Lemosam ubari ulam Amar Kadosh Baruch Hu lo dayin l'risham she'in charedin va'atzavim yom hamisa. It's not enough that the wicked don't fear or aren't sad about the day of death. Because you would think even if a person sins in this world, at least he knows that there's going to be an ultimate judgment. He's going to have to give judgment for his actions. So the Rishon, it's bad enough that the Rishon aren't afraid or aren't sad about the day of death. Ella shalibam bari lehem ku'ulam. but rather they're confident. They're not even worried at all. They're right. Their hearts are expansive as a whole. The Rishonim know that one day they're going to die, right? One day they're going to die, and they have to give accounting for all of their wrongdoings. And still they have a layer of fat that covers their loins, right? That covers their insides. In other words, there's like this layer of fat that prevents them from feeling everything. Shema Tomar, maybe you'll say, well, maybe they just forgot about the fact that there's an accounting. Talmud Lomar, the wicked know very well that one day there is an accounting for their deeds, and one day they will have to stand judgment. But they actively choose to live life pretending like they don't know the consequences. And Rabbi said this is incredibly amazing, that at the end of the day, says the Gemara, that sometimes the most terrible attribute of the wicked is not the fact that they sin. We all sin, we all make mistakes. But at least the person should be aware, A, that what he's doing is wrong, and B, that there's an accounting for what it is that I'm going to do. Because as long as you remember that there's an accounting, there is a hope that ultimately, again, I'll turn myself around. What's terribly dangerous about the wicked is they sin and they conduct themselves as if there are no repercussions, as if there is no accounting. That apparently is what drives HaKadosh Baruch Hu most crazy. You want to sin, you want to make mistakes, we're human beings. But at least remember that there's an accounting, because that'll set you straight. But unfortunately, the wicked go through life pretending like there's no accounting, but they know full well that there is. All right, we'll have to stop over here. We'll pick up a minute to Shem at the 2 dots tomorrow. Shkoach.